New York City is known for its iconic landmarks like the Statue of Liberty, Times Square, and Central Park. But there's so much more to explore beyond the usual tourist spots. Tucked away in its bustling streets are hidden gems that even lifelong New Yorkers might not know about. From quirky museums to tranquil parks, here are 22 incredible spots that are off the beaten path and brimming with unique charm. Let's jump into it. First up, we have the Midnight Moment in Times Square. I know that Times Square is not an unknown spot, but most tourists don't know about the Midnight Moment. Every night at 11:57 p.m., for 3 minutes, the screens of Times Square synchronize for a massive art display. It's the largest digital art exhibition in the world, and witnessing it in person is a great way to end a busy day in New York City. Next, we have the Roosevelt Island Tramway. This attraction is one of the best ways to take in breathtaking views of Manhattan from a tram that soars high above the East River. It's a quick ride, but it offers great skyline views, all for the price of a subway fare. While you're on Roosevelt Island, don't miss the haunting ruins of the old smallpox hospital. It's an eerie but fascinating reminder of New York City's past. Plus, nearby you can explore Four Freedoms Park, which offers gorgeous waterfront views and a quiet spot to relax. You could easily spend a few hours here. Next up, we have the Life Underground Sculpture Series. These sculptures are scattered throughout the 14th Street, 8th Avenue subway station. Created by artist Tom Otterness, the sculptures are part of a public art project aimed at bringing humor and whimsy to the subway system. The playful figures depict everyday people, animals, and even fantastical creatures, turning an otherwise mundane subway journey into an unexpected art adventure. It's a delight to spot them hiding on beams or in corners while you're waiting for the next train. Next up, I have no idea how you're supposed to pronounce this, but it's the M Museum with an extra M on both sides. This micro museum, which is literally located in an alley's elevator shaft, is one of the city's quirkiest spots. It features bizarre artifacts that change seasonally and tell exciting stories like airline spoons and knockoff products. It's a small but mighty peek into oddities you won't find anywhere else, all tucked in an alley that you would easily walk by. Following that, we have the Sea Glass Carousel. Located in Battery Park, the Sea Glass Carousel is like riding inside of an aquarium. The carousel was built near the original New York Aquarium site, which is no longer here but opened in 1896. It pays homage to the park's aquatic history with its fish-shaped seats that make you feel like you're swimming through an underwater dream, especially when they're lit up at night. It's not just for kids though, this carousel gives a magic underwater feeling to anyone who hops on for a ride. Next up, we have Titanic Memorial Park. Nestled in the South Street Seaport area, Titanic Memorial Park features a 60-foot tall lighthouse dedicated to those who lost their lives on the Titanic. It was initially installed in 1913 and had a working time ball to signal 12 noon to ships in the harbor. Since then, it has moved to this park, which is a peaceful place with a piece of maritime history that few visitors know about. Following that, we have Fraunces Tavern. Established in 1762, Fraunces Tavern has seen countless historical moments. From secret meetings of the Sons of Liberty to George Washington's famous farewell to his officers. Today, the tavern is a restaurant, museum, and a bar, giving visitors a taste of early American history alongside a good pint. The upstairs museum houses an impressive collection of Revolutionary War artifacts, documents, and exhibits to tell the story of America's early fight for independence. Visiting here isn't just about grabbing a drink, it's stepping back in time to one of New York City's most storied locations. Next up, we have the Captain America statue. This statue is located in Brooklyn, inside a mall and next to a flooring store, but it's well worth seeking out if you're a fan. It is 13 feet tall and features Captain America holding his shield high. The statue also has the iconic quote, "I'm just a kid from Brooklyn," and it was created to celebrate the character's 75th anniversary. It has been moved all over the city, but for now, this is where he sits. Next up, we have Brooklyn's Superhero Supply Company, which is a hidden superhero-themed shop that doubles as a front for a non-profit creative writing center. Brooklyn's Superhero Supply Company sells all the gadgets an inspiring hero might need and does it all to support the nonprofit. It's a sister store of the Time Travel Mart in Los Angeles and the Pirate Supply Store in San Francisco. Next up, we have the New York City Transit Museum. The Transit Museum, which is located in a decommissioned subway station in Brooklyn, offers a fascinating dive into the history of New York City's iconic transit system. You can explore vintage subway cars and buses and learn about the evolution of the transit network. It's a unique hands-on experience that's fun for the whole family. Next up, we have Tom's Restaurant. Tom's Restaurant is iconic in pop culture as the exterior for the diner in Seinfeld. Located in Morningside Heights, this old-school diner serves classic American fare and is an absolute must-visit if you're a fan of the show or just love retro NYC diners. The exterior is the only thing that was used for the show, but inside they have a few displays related to Seinfeld if you're interested. Following that is Paley Park. Paley Park is a tiny oasis in Midtown featuring a cascading waterfall that drowns out the noise of the city. It's a peaceful escape among the skyscrapers, offering the perfect place for a quiet lunch or a moment of zen in the chaos of Manhattan. A small shop called The Lunchbox sells bagels, coffee, and sandwiches out of a window to eat while enjoying the park. Next up, we have the Elevated Acre. Hidden above street level in the financial district, the Elevated Acre is a lush green spot with great views of the East River and the Brooklyn Bridge. Take an almost hidden escalator up and you'll find this calm spot perfect for lounging during a busy day in downtown. It's especially great if you're traveling with kids and want to give them a spot to run around a little bit and a break from exploring. Next up, we have the Ramones Ramp. Located in an inconspicuous area of Queens, you'll find a mural called The Ramp, which is a tribute to the New York City punk scene and the band The Ramones. It depicts the band members as teens hanging out here in the 70s before they went on to become famous. If you love punk music, it's a great quick stop and it's known as the birthplace of punk rock. Next up, we have Hess Triangle. The Hess Triangle is the smallest piece of private property in New York City, and a tiny mosaic embedded in the sidewalk in the West Village neighborhood remembers it. It reads property of the Hess estate, which has never been dedicated for public purposes. And it's a quirky bit of New York history worth hunting down that deals with a land dispute between the city and a private citizen. Following that, we have the Rudolph de Herrick clock. Once the largest clock in the world, this hidden gem is easy to overlook while you're walking around. The clock was designed in the 1970s as part of the artist's goal to merge art and architecture. Located at 200 Water Street, its minimalistic design is a throwback to mid-century modern aesthetics, and it's a fun stop if you're in the financial district. When I visited, someone stopped to tell me about how they had lived there their entire life and how they loved seeing people stop to admire it. And it's just a cool piece of history that most people overlook in New York. Following that, we have the Ghostbusters headquarters. Fans of the classic movie will recognize Hook and Ladder Company 8 in Tribeca as the headquarters from Ghostbusters. Snap a photo out front of this still functioning firehouse where the Ghostbusters sign is often on display. The firehouse was prominently featured in the original Ghostbusters movie and its sequel, making it a pop culture landmark. It's a must visit for movie buffs, and there's almost always someone there taking a photo. Next up, we have Beastie Boys Square. This spot is located on the Lower East Side, and it's where the iconic album cover for Paul's Boutique was shot. The square honors the legendary rap group with murals and graffiti that capture their spirit and contribution to music. It's a must visit for any fans who want to experience a piece of hip hop history right where it happened. Following that, we have the Aretha Franklin Respect Subway Tribute. This unique tribute is located in the Franklin Street subway station in Manhattan. After her passing, the MTA added signs to say respect from her hit song in honor of the Queen of Soul. It's a simple but powerful homage to her legacy, reminding commuters of her impact on music and civil rights as they passed through. No one knew how long it would last after it was installed, but was still there years later in the summer of 2024. Next up, we have the Backroom Speakeasy. As one of New York City's only remaining speakeasy from the Prohibition days, the Backroom has an unmarked entrance and serves drinks in teacups like it did during the 1920s. It's hidden down a set of stairs and behind a gate, adding an air of mystery, and even though there are better drinks in the city, there is hardly a more historic spot to have one. It's well worth a visit to experience. Following that, we have the Brooklyn Flea. Brooklyn Flea is a massive outdoor market where you can find everything from vintage clothes to unique collectibles. Held on the weekends in the charming area of Dumbo, it's a treasure trove for those who love hunting for one-of-a-kind items. It's also a great place to get some street food while exploring or hanging out by the water. These last two are probably a little more well-known, and the first is the Little Island. Little Island is a park unlike any other. It's a whimsical green space built on Hudson River pilings with winding pathways, gardens, and scenic overlooks. Originally conceived as part of the Hudson River Park Trust, Little Island was built to create a unique public space for arts, culture, and recreation. It opened in 2021 to offer New Yorkers an oasis that combines nature, creativity, and community events. And it's a great spot to explore and to let the kids run around. Lastly, we have the Irish Hunger Memorial. This small memorial in Battery Park honors the over 1 million victims of the Irish famine. It features an actual Irish cottage and lush greenery and has rocks from every county in Ireland. The memorial is designed to invoke the rural Irish landscape, symbolizing both the hardships faced during the Great Famine and the resilience of the Irish people. It's a somber place to walk through in New York City. Hopefully you can see by this list that New York City is full of surprises. These hidden gems are just a glimpse of what lies beyond the well-trodden tourist paths. Whether you're a first-time visitor or a lifelong New Yorker, exploring these lesser-known spots will give you a deeper appreciation of the city's rich history, culture, and creativity. Let me know what I left off, and you can see more New York content in the description. We'll see you on the next video.